Hey everybody, Beardo Dude here. Character creation is a highly requested feature in Stoneshard and one that was teased during the Kickstarter. While we probably have to wait until the game is fully released, we can mess around with our save file to simulate the experience. Stay tuned as I demonstrate different ways in which you can edit your save file. Disclaimer: editing your save file is highly discouraged by the development team for Stoneshard, and they will not be held responsible if your game saves become corrupted by following my guide. Additionally, make sure to follow the steps and advice in my video to ensure smooth changes without any problems. Editing the save file can be tricky, especially if you're not familiar with programming, so take that under advisement. I also want to add that I did get the blessings from the development team to make this video. They feel that since so many people are already editing their save files, that it's not a big deal to actually provide a tutorial on how to do so, especially to spice things up in the game as we wait for further development. This version works with the latest update from Bolt Thrower, v0.5.9.4, but is obviously subject to change in the future, so keep that in mind while viewing this video. Additionally, if any of you have any questions about what's in the video, or if you're getting errors, if you're having issues following the guide, feel free to reach out to me on Discord by the same name, Beardo Dude. I actively participate on the Stoneshard Discord, so you should be able to find me there. So on to the video. So to get started, you're going to want to make sure that you have the proper tools installed to edit the save file. One popular one that I use is called NotePad++. I will leave a link in the description, but you can easily find it by just doing a quick Google search. Click on the download section. Just get the most recent one, and then depending on what kind of operating system that you're using, if you're 64-bit or 32-bit, usually you're going to be 64-bit. You can check this by typing the dxdiag into your run into the run section down here, and it should be able to tell you exactly what you're using. So I mean, just do the normal just go through all the normal motions of installing it. I actually wiped it and I'm doing a fresh install to show you guys. Using Notepad++, you can easily undo any changes if you do break something. That's why it's nice to use compared to traditional Notepad, as traditional Notepad will only save one change. So you can only undo one step, whereas Notepad++, you can save it, switch it back, undo the changes, save it again. It's a very nice tool to use. So once you have Notepad++ installed, go to the plugin section, go to plugins admin, and add an extension called JSON Viewer. You can click on it, tell it to install, just tell it yeah, it's gonna run. And the reason you want to do this is because the save file is in what's called JSON. That stands for JavaScript Object Notation. You don't really need to know too much about it, other than this is a very popular way to store data compared to traditional, heavy access databases and stuff. You can just have it in a simple file, and it has a very easy to read format. So now, once you have these tools set up, the next step is going to be backing up your save file folder. And the reason you want to do this is just on the off chance you make any heavy changes and you end up breaking the game, meaning when you try to load your files, the game is going to give you an error. You'll be able to easily replace it and go back to normal, especially if you're going to be bold enough to make these changes on a character that you are already playing with, which I don't advise. I almost would prefer if you guys would start a new character. Other than the bonus part, which we're going to go through at the end, which is probably what you want to stick around for. It's a super easy fix that you guys will like a lot, and it's not going to break the immersion of the game. So you'll want to go to your Windows Explorer, type in AppData in between the two percentage signs, and this will bring up your AppData folder. Typically it will send you to roaming, so just back out, go to local, then just go down until you find Stoneshard. This is where all of your save data is being stored. As you can see, if you click on the characters folder, which we're going to be using to make all the changes, this is where all your save files are stored for each character. You don't have to worry about or mess with any of these. You can just leave them alone. But what I would advise is just making a copy of this, and even just as simply as pasting it on your desktop. Call it something like Stoneshard Backups. When you're going, if you do need to restore it, make sure you get rid of the backups, drag it over here, and it'll overwrite everything, and you should be good to go. So just an additional disclaimer, make sure that you're going to get these tools, and I'll explain why they're quite handy, and also to back up your file. If you guys are not following my steps exactly and you corrupt your save file, or you do something where your character is not loading, sadly I will not be held accountable. I'm definitely letting you guys know that this is a difficult process and can cause issues, but knowing that there is such a desire for people to go in and create their own characters, mess with, just check reputation, or as we're going to explore in the end, just save your file name, so when you pull up Stoneshard, it's easy to distinguish which character you want to play with. Part 1. Crowns, attribute points, stat points, and experience. These are probably the easiest to edit and find within the code, and I will go through each one to show you how you can do it, and we'll load the game to see the effects. So what you'll do is you'll go into your characters folder, and like I said, I prefer if you guys would start a new character, at least to test these changes on. So we'll actually do that. I'll load Stoneshard and we'll make a new character. For some of the changes, it'll be better served for me to show you from an existing character, but in the first few I'm going to show you, we're going to look at a brand new character. Since if you're going to be testing different builds, you're probably going to want to start a new character anyways. So we'll just start adventure mode, and we'll listen to Varen's little spiel here for a minute.
So here I am. The caravan is gone. My leg.
Yeah, we know Varen. Okay, so you could pick any character you want. For this experience, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna pick Jonah just because some of the stuff I'm gonna show you can actually turn Jonah into being a berserker, revenger, ranger, whatever we want to do. So obviously she's the sorceress, all her stuff is geared towards that.
Is that so? Interesting.
So yeah, give us the map, let's go. So what you'll do is you'll just a day, I guess. For now you could go ahead and do a full week, 2 weeks, because of the changes we're gonna make. Money isn't really gonna become very relevant when you're testing out builds. So here we go, we're saving Jonah. Now with that open, if we go back to NotePad, we go back here, now we can see a fourth Jonah file has been created as of the time you guys can see when I was recording. So you'll go into this character folder and you'll click save one. That's where all of the save data is going to be and where we're going to go to edit things. And specifically, you'll want to mess with the character save. We could touch on containers as well, but most of the other ones you won't want to mess with. So if we go into this, if we click edit and make sure you're doing edit with Notepad++, you'll pull up the file here. Now, you're going to see a single line of super long code that's probably confusing to look at first. What you can do is click on the plugins, go to JSON Viewer, tell it to show JSON Viewer. This will show you kind of navigation style, all of the different statistics and attributes, all the different stuff tied to your your character's save file. Some of these are easily changed. Some of them will break the game if you change, and we'll go through each of these as the video progresses. So to start off with crowns, if you want to just flood your character with a lot of crowns, you will go, let me see where it is on here. You're basically going to Control F for the stack attribute. So if we do Control F, double quotes, stack, find next, it will bring you to where on the game, as we can see here, Jonah has 335 crowns, and on here it says 335. So you could do something ridiculous. I mean, we could do where we add a 10 on there, so now she has 10,000, or just for the ridiculous purposes of this, we'll do 100,000, right? So you save it, and then you exit the game, and then you'll load her back up, which should load her. Now, if you go to the inventory, you're going to see 100,000 crowns, which is probably more than you could ever imagine having on a character. Following this, we can also go in and affect her skill points, attribute points, and experience in the same way. And all this will be listed out in the description for easy access later on. Attribute points will be called AP. So if you Control F to that, you'll see 0 because she's starting off. So if we put 100 there, and then for skill points, which is going to be what you do to advance in the skill tree, type in SP. She has 2, which is what you generally start with. So we'll do 200. Yeah, so for experience, you'll type in XP. She has 0. So we'll do something crazy. We'll put in 10,000. Let's just go nuts. We'll do 100,000. So having changed these 3, going off the example of the first, we'll exit out, reload the game, and now you see this brilliant glow on Jonah. You see her level jumping all the way to 20. If you go on here, you'll see she has a ridiculous number of skill points. It's going to be more than what you put in because of the levels she gained. And then same with the attribute points. We have a ridiculous amount of 219. So from there, this is very helpful if you're going to test out a build. If you want to test out different attributes, if you want to dig them all into here. One thing that I did notice in going through the save file, which I'll show you guys, is there are certain triggers for different skill points that you reach. So agility 15, vitality 25. Some of these are tied to different things that will happen. Like if perception goes up to, I think, 15, your vision or your range will actually increase. So that's something to keep in mind. I haven't messed with this very much, but definitely something you could play with. And if you were so bold, I think you could actually just go and change these, but we're not going to go through that in this video. You can see perception 25, agility 15, vitality 25. So it kind of confirms that as you're adding attribute points to your character, or skill points, my bad, I think I got it mixed up. Skill points here, attribute points here. As you're adding skill points, once you hit certain levels, additional things will trigger on your character. So definitely something to explore. Part 3, resetting the troll hunt quest. So in this demonstration, I'm picking a character that has already completed the troll quest, and I'll show you guys this. If we go in here, let's try to find it, I guess. Yes, so you can see I have already killed the troll on this character. I've gotten the reward, And once that happens, there's no way to go back and fight the troll again. There's only one roll that you can do per character with the troll hunt quest. Now, having said that, there is a way in which you can reset this if you were to want to fight the troll again, which I've seen that asked in the Discord a few times. So that's why I wanted to include this in the video. So in this instance, we'll go into Jonah's save file and Arna's save file here, which she is, I think it's my, nope, it's not the first one. No, not Jonah. Sorry, Arna. It is my first Arna save file. So in here, we'll pull this up. It will look much different if you go and check the JSON viewer as we did before. There will be additional things in here compared to before. All of the quests are located at the bottom, and you'll see them here. I've done the majority of the quests in the game. You can see Troll Hunt is here, and there's different things that get checked off for the Troll Hunt, and I'll show you now how we can reset this. The first step is that you have to look for a section that says Journal Task Completed, and if you go in here, you will see that all of the quests that you have completed that comprise the list that we looked at before, and the Troll Hunt is in here. So what you can do is if you search Journal Tasks Completed in the JSON, it'll bring you here. You can scroll over, which takes a little bit. So you see Fetch Bert, Fetch Jabbar, Troll Hunt. So you see that it's listed here as a completed quest. So the first step is going to be highlighting that and deleting it. Once you do this, if you save your file and we go back to Arna and we reload her game, we will see in the journal that it is no longer completed. It is not on here. So that is the first step to being able to reset the quest. The second step, and I will post the full code that you'll need to use. Let me pull up a sample for you just in Word. You will use this full line of code to reset the troll quest. Each of these values indicates different parts or different tasks completed within the quest, and this is much like gathering the caravan, which is probably the only other task-oriented quest, other than some to just talk to people. It will trigger different things. So what we'll do, and another thing you can do too, if you don't have my code handy, is you can go into a character that has progressed far enough. For instance, my Jorgrim save here, open it up, and he has the troll quest unlocked. Wait, we'll need to reload the show JSON each time. Give it a second. So if we scroll down here, we look at quests. He does have the Troll Hunt quest. You can actually go, since it's at the bottom, it's rather easy to find. Otherwise, you can, again, just do search for Troll Hunt. And you can basically copy and paste that section from your other character and overwrite it. So this is still gathering caravan. We're just slowly sliding over. Find variant. You can also copy and paste a completed character to have that basically shoot you over to Manshar if you're starting a test build. Yep, found Hodar. This should be... Yep, okay, so we're to the troll quest. You can highlight it. Just be a little bit careful on the sensitivity of scrolling over. Go all the way through the different tasks. And now we're to the beginning of it. So what you can do is copy this go into your Arna save file, go and find where she has the troll quest. Still in fetch bird, troll hunt. So go from the end here, slide over until you get to the beginning of it, which you'll see this is complete. Basically, you'll see troll hunt description is how you'll know. So from here, you can paste. You'll also want once you remove it from the completed task, journal task completed, you'll want to go into the journal quests and make sure that you do comma and add troll hunt in there. Along with the other changes, you will now see that the troll quest is added again. And if we were to go and visit the troll, which I'll do a quick jump cut to show you guys, we're at the troll fight, and you'll see that our fight will get triggered. So following these steps, you'll once again be able to fight this big old nasty troll. I'm definitely not prepared for it. He would likely wreck on me if I was to try, but let's throw a boulder at him just for fun. Oh, he's not close enough. Come on, man. Just for funsies. Didn't do much damage. Oh, and he's pissed. So that's how you can reset the troll quest. Just follow those 3 quick steps. You won't have to talk to anybody. You could just go run straight to the troll, and then afterwards collect your reward again if you want. Part 4, character creation. Now, there is no true character creation. However, we can take any of the 5 starting characters and make changes to their base stats, their unique trait, and their skills. Especially if we're going to do a test build, this is helpful. Otherwise, if you just want to start the character, maybe you want Jonah to be a berserker, you want Jorgrim to be a mage, you can follow these steps. So there's basically a few things you can do. The main thing to change the nature of your character is going to be the unique trait. Otherwise, other than the starting points, there's not going to be much in the way of, actually doing true character creation. But you can play around and have different characters, have different classes, which can be fun too. So if we pull up and we go to Jonah, this is our Jonah save file. We'll reload the JSON viewer. What you'll notice if you look through here is a player class. Now you can see Jonah is listed as Runaway Wizard. Now, the way in which you can figure out the different ones, which I'll have posted in the description as well, is just to create save files for each different class and go look at this. In my instance, I know already. Search player class. Ooh, not play class. Player class. I know Jorgrim's is O Reaver. So we'll save the game. We'll reload Jonah. We'll reload Jonah. And now, if you look at her, she now has the unique trait of Berserk Frenzy. Now you're only able to add one trait per character, so you wouldn't be able to stack all 5. But if you want to use the Jonah character model to play as a Berserker, just because it would be funny, seeing Jonah here running around with axes and stuff and just going full ham on everybody outside of just casting spells, this is a way you can do it. So the other part of this is changing the base stats. So these are rather easy to find, and I'll also have these listed in the description. But as you can see, they're just scattered throughout the save files. So willpower 14. Let me get rid of this. We can see Jonah has 14 willpower. If we scroll down and look agility, we see that she has 10. So I'll list each one of them in here, but let's say you do want her to be more on the Jorgrim side. I don't remember specifically. I know that his is more heavy on strength. I think strength and agility, maybe has a vitality point. But you can basically do the same idea that you would do for these. So the starting base stats are 10, and then they add 6 to each. So you can kind of play around with it too. If you just wanted to do 1 point for every one, and then maybe do 1 extra for strength, you can. And I'll show you those changes. So like for willpower, actually, you always want to make sure that you put it in the quotes to find exactly what you're looking for. So we'll put this back to 10, and just for the sake of it, we'll go look for strength, which I believe is STR. And you can see as it matches is 10. So we'll do 14. You save, reload the save file, and we'll check Jonah's character. Now you see the stats are flipped. She no longer has 14 willpower, she has 14 strength. The other part of this is the starting abilities. So that is actually really helpful. If you just change the player class, the character will automatically get triggered to have their regular starting skills. So for Jorgrim, dual wielding axes, combat mastery, definitely not what Jonah would have, though we still have access to Jonah's starting abilities as well. If this is not good enough, let's say you're trying to test a build, you can go to the section of the code called skills. We'll scroll down to it, and you'll see that all of the skills are listed here. Now the weird thing is they don't match one-to-one with the name in the game, which is a little bit confusing. I did find that, but you can go in, and if you change, like let's say vivifying violence, I'm not sure which one that is, but no time, let's say no time to linger, right? We know where that one is. That is on the athletics. Where was it? No time to linger. So we don't have this skill unlocked currently, but if we go into the file and we see it there, so we type in no time to linger. We go to it. You'll change this value. Oops. You'll change this value to 0. This will unlock the skill, so if you just wanted to unlock it to put the skill point, you could. You could also go ahead and just have the skill unlocked. So basically, skill unlocked, like fully unlocked, the skill tree is unlocked, you can click on it and add a point, and this is locked. So if we save, and we go back, and we reload Jonah, and we check out her skills, and we go to athletics, we can see no time to linger is unlocked. So now that we are at the end, we will go through the last bonus change, which is probably the easiest to make and the most useful. Or, you know, even if you don't want to go and make all these changes to your character, let's say Troll Hunt, you can only do it once. It's not fair to go and reset it. I don't want to change my skills. I don't want to add my reputation. I don't want to get a bunch of free money. This last tip is actually, it's just useful in general. So as you guys notice, when you go onto your load screen, all that you really get is Jonah 2, Arna 1, Jonah 3, and you can see I've already done this to a couple of my characters, but you can change this save file name to more easily identify each of the builds that you've played with. But so to do that, we will go back to the AppData. So on this one, we are, I think we're rolling Jonah 2, Jonah 4. So you'll go into Jonah 4. Now you won't go into the save files. You'll actually use this file here called character.map. So this is just like general save data file. Save data it will match to. You don't want to mess with it too much, but for the instance, we'll just do Jonah testing. That's what we'll name this one. And if we reload it, now we see that's the name of the file. And it won't mess with your save file or anything. You're still going to be able to get in. You're still going to have all your stuff. You can see I still have the things from what I changed. It's just a lot easier to navigate through the menus and kind of see what's going on. And I want to give a shout out to Darley Llama. He is actually the one that suggested I look into this, as it is a pretty practical thing to change in the game. It doesn't require anything heavy. You're not going to be breaking anything. It's just kind of for management, and hopefully in the future they will actually change it so we can easily edit these. But as you can see, you could do something like Jorgrum P for permadeath. Obviously you have the skull here, and then say dual axes. Or Derwin B-roll. This is for the podcast footage. I have like super souped up Derwin that I use for the filming, so that's why I labeled it that. But you could go in and change all of your character files so that you can easily identify, if you had Velmir Spears, Velmir Maces, Jonah Pyromancy, Jonah Geomancy. I mean, the sky's the limit. You can name it anything, really. There probably is some kind of character limit, but I didn't test that. So something to keep in mind.